welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Madden Football is the home of the Super Bowl, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles, and it's coming up next.
With the eyes of the world watching, it's time for the biggest event of the year, as we're proud to welcome you to the Super Bowl. Tonight, the Lombardi Trophy's in the building, and we've got a fight to see who's gonna raise it. Between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles. Thanks for joining us, everyone. With my partner, Brock Heward, I'm Kate Scott. And like so many matchups in the NFL, Brock, our focus goes right to the quarterbacks in this one. Both of these guys, players who've been around the league now for some time, they've definitely established themselves as veterans who know how to win football games.
Yeah, I think the word of the day, Kate, is definitely experience. Two guys who've been through the season several times over, have seen a lot at this point in their career, and been through quite a bit on the field. All that experience is stored up there right between the ears. And the one who is more skilled at leveraging that experience, more than likely is going to come away with the win.
Fielded at the 7. In pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. So here come the Chiefs, taking the field for their first drive of the game. Leading them out, someone who, Brock, I think needs less introduction than anyone in the NFL today. It's Patrick Mahomes.
All of us as sports fans, we know those players in the other sports that when we just think of the greatest to ever do it, a skill set that's different than everybody else, immediately a player pops in your mind. And while we have seen GOATs like Tom Brady and Super Bowl winners many times over like Bradshaw, Montana, and Aikman, there's just not many that have ever done it with the flair, the style, and the skill set of Patrick Mahomes.
Mahomes starting off with a throw. On target to Worthy. And he's going to be touchdown right at the line, so no gain on the play.
Man, the defense was all over that throw, able to stop it right at the line. They could smell that one coming, and they sniffed it out in a hurry.
2nd and 10, need to get some positive yardage here. From the gun, it's Mahomes. He's got his man, that's Travis Kelce. And he's up to the 35-yard line as they reel him in.
He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bully like him that can create space, you just find a way to get him the ball.
3rd and short, here's Mahomes. Hits him on the out route. And not much doing. He stopped quickly.
All you can do is shake your head sometimes. Sure, the pass play works. They come up just an inch or two short for the first down.
The Chiefs looking to punt on 4th down, so on comes Matt Araiza to handle it. And something on the return, but not much, as it still ends inside the 20. So here are the Eagles now for their first drive. They're led out by an incredible score through the air and on the ground. He was picked 53rd back in 2020. It's Jalen Hurts.
Kate, it's not often that we talk about quarterbacks having a nose for the end zone in football. It's usually reserved for the running backs. But Jalen Hurts has changed that conversation. He has so much power, so much strength. You get him into the short yardage situations or around the goal line, he finds a way to get in, but it's not just there. He's got a deep ball that's the envy of many. He's elevated his teammates around him, and he's got a skill set that I know a lot of quarterbacks would sure love to have.
He's descended upon quickly and dropped after it looks like a yard gain. Jaden Hicks there on the tackle. Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9. They go to Barkley again. Finding room at the 30. And he's going to get this to the 39-yard line. It's a gain of 21 yards to pick up that first down.
No frills, nothing fancy. That was just a good old offensive line dominated in the trenches. That sprung them to get to the second level and beyond.
First down now, ball at the 39-yard line. They're running the option, short side. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
It's easy for me to say up here in the friendly confines of the booth cave, but that was not the right read. And you hate seeing him absorb yet another hit at the end of the play. You never want him taking unnecessary shots throughout this game.
Offense to the line for second down. Barkley trying this up the gut. Blast through midfield. Reaches the 30. And he takes this all the way down to the 24-yard line. They're going to move the chains after a big play, 39 yards.
Those unsung heroes, those big guys up front on the O-line, well, let's give them a little love right here, okay? They don't always get the attention they deserve on the broadcast, but let me tell you, they played a huge role in that big old run.
First and 10, here's Hurts. That pass caught by Dotson. He gets forward, and that's about 4 yards. Something he does so well, Nick Bolton making the stop.
Well, that's a pretty similar result to a first down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes second and third down a whole lot easier to manage.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Throwing here, Hurts. Bails out of the... And they get to him as he was trying to make something happen. And that pushes him back, third down coming up.
Bend. Even good defenses, great defenses in this league, Kate, they're going to bend at times, but you never want to break. And when you get a sack in the red zone, well, that goes a long ways to helping your efforts.
Chiefs in a nickel set for this third down call. Hurts now from the gun. He'll get this one to Brown. And he'll get it down to the 24-yard line.
You know, I like the completion. You never turn down a completion. That's just not the right throw to make in that spot to move the chains.
So on fourth down, on comes the Eagles kicker, Jake Elliott, for the try. Ball on the left hash for this 41-yarder. The kick by Hopkins is good. And that will get them on the board.
A dependable kicker, man. That is a coach's best friend. Saves him so much stress to have a guy he can really trust to go out and hit it from that distance consistently. Because from that far out, no kick is a guarantee.
All set for the kickoff. Returning it from the 4. He stopped on the return at the 27. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Mahomes. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose, incomplete. Just couldn't hang on through the contact. And it's going to be 2nd down.
As a defense, you got to see the pass. You got to time up your hit, and you got to jar that ball loose. Not a lot of offensive players are hanging on to that one through a well-placed hit.
On 2nd and 10 now, Mahomes. Fits it through the middle. And he's going to get this up to the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 18 yards on that play, Brock, and it gets him a 1st down.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
They'll run here on first down. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
Kate, don't think for a second this is time you step off the gas. You can feel this defense, right? They're on their heels. And now's the best chance to go push the envelope and get aggressive.
On the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, here's Mahomes. That's caught by Hollywood Brown. And he's brought down after pushing to that 35-yard line. In a good spot here, 2nd and inches. Now it's the first carry for Isaiah Pacheco. And he'll get them enough for a 1st down.
That's certainly a spot where you could be more aggressive, Kate, if you wanted to take your shots. Some coaches, even the bolder ones, will take the safe play first when they get it from time to time. No 3rd down required now.
Here's 1st and 10 from the 34. Blitz coming, Mahomes. Has him on the quick hitter. He's corralled after a modest 4-yard gain. It was Reed Blankenship making the stop.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on 1st down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Mahomes. That one complete to Hopkins. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
Still on the move, coming to the line for 1st and 10. Looking to throw Mahomes. That pass is complete to Kelsey. And this play reaches the 12-yard line before the stop is made.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on 1st down, well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for 2nd down. 3rd and short in your back pocket, more aggressive and take that shot.
Another throw for Mahomes. Cut near the goal line. And he's tackled with markers down. This one should be on the defense. So after some careful consideration, they're going to go ahead and decline the penalty. This offense in position now. It's 1st and goal. Throwing again, Mahomes. Has it in close. And that's a Kansas City touchdown. No hesitation on that throw. He got the guy he wanted right away, and he got it to him for the touchdown.
You know, it's great, Kate, to draw plays that have all sorts of different options, but it's even better when you don't have to get to your 2nd read. His first broke open just like they planned, and that's 6 in the end.
Now Harrison Butker for the point after. Extra point set right down the middle. And the Chiefs take a 4-point lead. Reed now to kick this one away. This return starts at the 5. Finds some space. He's past the 30. And he gets across the 30 before he's brought down. Now for the second time this game, we're going to look at the Philly offense. And Brock, they are not in the spot they want to be, but still plenty of game left. You don't want to let the setting cause an early overreaction and panic.
Yeah, you just can't overtry. And every bit of you wants to, every fiber of your being in this building right now, you want to perform, but you just can't overdo it. Get back in the rhythm and play your game.
Starting on the ground here with Barkley. And they limit the damage just a few yards on that gain. Something he does so well. Nick Bolton making the stop. Give him a few yards on that run. It's 2nd and 7.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
From the pistol, Hurts. Short pass brought in. And he's going to get this up close to the 40 before going out.
There's no negatives ever on a grade sheet for a completion, but that's one of those situations. If you're going to take a risk and throw an out route, you'd sure like to see a little bit more yardage gained.
Extra man in the secondary now for the Chiefs on 3rd down. Dotson now in motion right. Hurts with it on 3rd and short. Barkley's got it. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your 3rd downs. It's a money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
New set of downs for him from the 46. On 1st down, Hurts. That's complete. Here's Brown. He gets it forward for a gain of 3. Drew Tranquil brings him to the ground. Second down now, 7 to go. Hurts throwing again. This one snagged by Dallas Goedert. And he'll have it down to the 44-yard line. A 7-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
I'm sure Coach, the play caller, doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
First down throwing for Hurts. He's on the move. Now he takes it. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a first down.
As long as these are the results he's getting, they're going to be just fine with him calling his own number. He does such a good job of seeing the field and knowing when it's his time to take it himself.
1st and 10 now from the 30. Hurts to throw. Flushed out of the pocket. He's keeping it again. And he's able to get this down to the 13. That one goes for 17 yards and moves the chains.
You know, these are the type of plays that really get an offense going. This is a chance for a QB to inspire the guys around him. Calling his own number, carrying his teammates to a first down on that big run. That inflates an offense, and it can suck the wind out of that defense.
From the red zone now. And his perfect start is over. And that's the first one of his throws to wind up incomplete. Targets have far less room to work in this red zone, Brock, but down this close as a former quarterback, I'm just going to assume you got to feel like he should have been able to hold on through whatever.
Yeah, and every once in a while you get in that huddle and you remind him, now listen, guys, it's going to be contested. We know this. It's a physical game, all 100 yards up and into the red zone and end zone. But when you get down here, you've got to come up with contested catches, and he couldn't.
A nice pickup of 11 there, Brock, and they'll have 1st and goal to figure out.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-out completion that nets them a first down.
Might be trying to power this across, Brock. They've got 3 tight ends out there. It's 1st and goal. Barkley. Can't fight that line. They stop him at the 3.
They say about great outfielders in baseball, there's just something to them. They've got a knack, a feel, and instinct to take the right line, the right angle. For safeties, to create tackles for loss in the run game, it's the exact same attribute and skill set. Got to take that right angle and then go finish that runner.
Option play. They give it to Barkley. Dives for the end zone, and he makes it. Touchdown! The Eagles hold a slim 2-point lead early. Saquon Barkley, the touchdown. That was a great response, Brock. After they got driven backwards on first down, they go right back to the ground and score just one play later.
Yeah, and I think if you and I were in the huddle down there after that first down loss, I think we would have felt a whole bunch of pride. Give me another shot, and boy, did they deliver.
Now Jake Elliott on to attempt the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Eagles push their lead to 3. Elliott's all set for the kickoff. Starting from the 5. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. Offense heading out now for the Chiefs. And it was a situation they prepared for, no doubt, Brock, but hopes that they wouldn't see. They're down early in the biggest game of the year.
Hey, listen, nobody said winning championships was easy. This is an early test of whether they've got the resiliency to win it all. And we know this. When that final second ticks off, most Super Bowl champions, they've been the most resilient players, too.
Mahomes on 1st and 10. That's complete. Isaiah Pacheco. And he gets him around 6 there. Zach Vaughn with the tackle.
That is a textbook first down completion. Sets up second and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. They'll motion a tight end left. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Pacheco hauls it in. Doesn't get much beyond the line, a yard at most. C.J. Gardner-Johnson there on the tackle.
That's a defense's goal, right, Kate? Just get us to 3rd down so we can have a chance to get off the field. And that was a good adjustment on that stop in particular, when the back ended up being the target, and they were able to keep him short of the sticks.
Third and short, here's Mahomes. He'll get this one to Brown. And they push this down to the opposing 47-yard line. They'll get 18 yards there. And the Chiefs are going to have a first down.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your 3rd downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
Football on that 47-yard line, first down. Back to the air, Mahomes. And there's a man there, it's intercepted. And the Eagles get the football on the first turnover of the contest. He was trying to fit it into a window in the zone coverage, but by the time he let it go, boy, Brock, that lane had closed and someone was there to make a play on it.
What you're trying to do in zone coverage defensively is make that quarterback see a window that isn't actually there. And as soon as he takes the bait and sends it over the middle, well, you got 1, 2, 3 defenders all there in range to go pick it off.
Eagles in a good spot here as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. Shotgun snap for Hurts. Completed over the middle. And he'll get it up to the 44.
That's what you call efficiency. Exactly what you're looking for in first down. Textbook. It sets up second and very manageable, and then creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Operating from the gun. Here's Hurts. He's got Brown on the slant. And they'll get him down after he gets into the 48. That's good for 7 yards. And that's a Philadelphia first down.
Good luck defending that short yardage slant. Just not going to happen. There's a reason this is a go-to play for just about any quarterback in every situation.
First and 10. Here's Hurts. Escapes the pocket. He's running with it. And they make the stop. We're going to say at about the 37-yard line. That's the end of one here in Super Bowl 59. Just a field goal separates these two. We'll return to New Orleans right after this. Welcome back. The team is set, so let's get back to it. Second quarter of Super Bowl 59 from New Orleans. They're looking at yet another 1st and 10 on this drive. And they take him down right along the 30.
Sometimes when you're just looking to move it forward, get some small yards on the throw, quarterback's best friend, security blanket. And when it's a big old tight end, that's an extra bonus.
2nd and 3 now. Hurts now from the gun. He's on the move. He can run it. And defenders are there to get him at the line. Drew Tranquil brings him to the ground.
That's a really good job by the defense right there. Doing something I hear all the time in coaches' meetings. I want to keep that quarterback in the box. I want to put a fence around him. Don't want to let him get out and make a big play breaking the pocket.
Barkley gets it on 3rd down. And they bring him down after the play reaches the 26. Give him 3 on that game. And that's good for an Eagles first down.
Okay, you know me, I can't resist. I thought we might have needed the old Gene Steratore index card down there. Making a really close measurement to see if he got the first down or not. But in the end, well, the right call was made. He got just enough to move the chains.
Back to throw, Hurts. Looking right, and he finds him. And he's going to be taken down near the 8-yard line. They'll have 1st and goal to go now after they gained 18 on the previous play.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
Four downs now to get in. Here's 1st and goal. From the gun, a gift to Gainwell. And he only manages one. Couple of defenders there to bring him down.
Hey, I get it on 1st and goal, right? A lot of teams like to be conservative and limit risk. Even if a run is stopped short, you still got 2, sometimes 3 downs to play with.
Ball placed at the 7. It's 2nd and goal. Hurts. This throw is caught. And he'll go down shy of the end zone. They mark him at the 4.
Quarterbacks will look for their tight end short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options. Well, there's their consistent source of positive yardage, the trusty tight end.
Buckle up. It's 3rd and goal. Hurts looking to throw. Escapes the pocket. And he scores. It's a Philadelphia touchdown. The Eagles parlay the interception into points. Jalen Hurts with a touchdown. Wow, great work there by the quarterback. The play broke down, didn't really have much of a choice other than to escape and improvise, and in the end, Brock, the best call he could have made.
Yeah, and you can do it in different ways in today's NFL, right? The Tom Brady's just recently retired. He did it with his brain. He did it with his mind, but you've got to be able to improvise, as you said. You got to be able to create when a play breaks down, and when you can put 6 on the board, man, does that infuse your offensive group with confidence.
Point after added on by Elliott. And the Eagles make it a 10-point ball game. Elliott's all set for the kickoff. Here's a return from the 7. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. The Chiefs offense out to take over. They're down 10 partway through this one. Score is 17-7. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. A counter give here to Pacheco. And he's able to manage a couple on that run.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
8 yards to go. Well, let's see how they approach this 2nd down. Out of the gun, it's Mahomes. On target to Worthy. This is ahead for about 5. Brought down on the effort by Quinyon Mitchell.
There's no route on the old proverbial route tree, Kate, that takes more trust than throwing an out route. You're throwing it to a spot and believing your guy can get there.
All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Operating from the gun, here's Mahomes. Complete beyond the marker. And he's down after getting this up to the 41. 6 yards on the play and enough for a 1st.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of 3rd downs just like that.
1st and 10 from the 41. Short side option here. He's running left. He's contained at the line for no gain. It was Reed Blankenship making the stop. Call it no gain on that run, and they face 2nd and 10.
Man, it is tough to fool this defense with how they just react to these plays, Kate. They held that line, the QB keeper, it gets 0.
2nd and 10 now. He's got him. That's Pacheco. And it's a nice little chunk here, 6 yards. It was Reed Blankenship making the stop.
Translatable skills, that's what you call it. So effective as a runner, but those same traits that make him a great runner, adept at getting those yards, well, he translates now as a receiver in the open field.
Here's Mahomes. We've got a screen to the running back. And he's brought down after a short gain.
You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're just not hitting as much in training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days, when you can make a play in the open field, keep it short like that, I promise you some money will follow.
Philadelphia's offense back out for another drive. And I think they'd be content doing everything the same as their prior drive and getting another touchdown here. First down, ball at the 36. Here's Hurts. He's on the move. He's keeping it. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
When the play breaks down, every once in a while, you got to be able to make a play with your legs. His offense counts on that ability to evade pressure and occasionally make plays just like that one.
They'll keep this drive moving and come to the line for 1st and 10. Motion man left is Brown. Working inside the red zone. He's got Devontae Smith. And he'll go down. Looks like they're marking him at the 11.
You know, Kate, over the years, I've heard defensive coordinators say, hey, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. You got to earn the right for me to call blitzes. And when you call a blitz and you don't get home and you don't hit the quarterback, you've earned nothing.
2nd and 3 now. Oh, they're looking option, headed left side. And this one's stopped at the 3-yard line. They find 7 yards, and now they've got 1st and goal.
The difference right there, Kate, between that gain and a big hit for a loss is really quick decision-making. He made a quick read, saw the running back was going to get hit if he handed it, and he pulls it himself for a positive gain.
Hurts to throw. And he has it in the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. The Eagles make it a 16-point ball game. It's a Devontae Smith touchdown. All right, partner, what do you think? Was that a design read, or did he just see space and he was reacting more on the old quarterback instinct there?
Yes. I think yes on both of them.
So we've got a stoppage now. Figured this might be coming. We're going to take another look to see if this was indeed a touchdown. Well, this right here is where having all those camera angles comes into play. We're going to get a much clearer picture thanks to all the shots we've got.
Yep, technology, everybody's friend right now. We get to watch it again and again. Unlike these officials, who got to see it once in real time. We just have to see, is there clear enough evidence to overturn the call that was made down there on the field?
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Those points safe on the scoreboard. The touchdown upheld upon review. Elliott on now to attempt a point after. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Eagles take a 3-possession lead. Elliott's all set for the kickoff. Fielded at the 7. And this will give them decent field position. The return gets out to the 30. The Chiefs' offense set to take over again. Well, their last drive, not the one they want to replicate after they were forced to punt it away. First and 10 now from the 30. The drive begins with a run by Pacheco. And he's down after getting this up to the 41. It's a pickup of 11. And it'll be first down, Kansas City.
You spring a big gain like that, Kate, on the interior, 9 times out of 10, that O-line decisively won their matchup with the big fellas up front. They got those pads down. They created leverage, and they opened up that running lane.
First down throw, Mahomes. That's complete. Here's Brown. And he pushes this down to the 42 before going down. The big play nets him 17 yards. And the Chiefs are going to have a first down.
I know the Combine tries to test everything it possibly can physically, but I don't know how you test courage at the Combine, because there's nobody defending you. Nobody wants to hit you. That was the epitome of courage to make that in cut and make the catch.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Finds him over the middle. And he's going to be taken down a yard shy of the 25. That's 16 on the pickup. And it'll be 1st down, Kansas City.
You want to become a quarterback's best friend, do that. Turn a short little gain, a short little pass into some yards after catch, and that quarterback will find you again.
Throwing on 1st down, Mahomes. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Well-timed strike by that defender to knock it free. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
I think if you look up in phase in the defensive encyclopedia, that is a picture-perfect form of it. He was all over him in coverage, really forcing the incompletion.
Off play action, it's Mahomes. Has his man, it's Pacheco. And he'll head out of bounds after a short gain.
It is so hard for these defenses. I don't envy them at all to try to monitor where these running backs are. Are they chipping? Are they delaying their route? He's such an underrated part of their overall passing game.
Let's see what they draw up on a 3rd and 7. Back to the air, Mahomes. This one finds Kelsey. And he's got it inside the 15 before going out. A 9-yard gain and good for a 1st down.
You know, Kate, they say a dog is a man's best friend. A tight end that moves the chains on 3rd down, that's a QB's best friend.
A new set of downs forthcoming. It's 1st and 10. Again, Mahomes to throw. This one's caught. And he has it down to the 8-yard line on the play. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Throwing again, Mahomes. Cut near the goal line. And he's able to get it to the 2 before the stop. It's a 6-yard gain. That sets up 1st and goal.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it, going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
They'll break the huddle and come up on 1st and goal. Pirine finds the end zone. Touchdown, Kansas City. The Chiefs fighting back and shaving 6 off that lead. Butker to try the point after. Extra point set right down the middle. And the Chiefs cut the lead down to 10. That lead trimmed just a bit, down to 10 points now as the kick is up and away. This one's fielded at the 4-yard line. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Eagles and receiver Devontae Smith returning to the field. And after the impressive drive we just witnessed, you gotta imagine that they are hoping to respond with something similar.
Yeah, and I don't love to use the word can't, right? But this can't be a 3-and-out for this offense right here. They got to give their defense a chance to catch their breath and turn some of the momentum in the building.
They're out and set, 1st and 10. Motion man left is Brown. On 1st down, Hurts. Has a man, it's Brown. And he flips the field for them before being taken down.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
The drive picks up here, 1st and 10. From the pistol, Hurts. Barkley's got it. And he gets this forward to the 19.
When there's heat, that blitz coming off the snap, that QB's eyes, you could see it right away. He got to his check down in a hurry. But, Kate, here's the key. Quarterback and running back have to be on the same page. The two were right there, and it netted some positive yards.
Operating from the gun, here's Hurts. Taken in by Smith. And he's brought down inside the 10 at the 9. It's a double-digit gain, 10 yards, and now they've got 1st and goal.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
This offense in position now, it's 1st and goal. He'll try left side out of the option. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
Any tackle for loss hurts, Kate, but they hurt that much more from a defensive back. Those guys typically are better in coverage, and you got to find a way to make them miss in the backfield.
Going the wrong way. It's 2nd and goal now, back at the 12. Straight ahead, here's Barkley. And they bring him down pretty quickly at the 10. Only 3 yards. They're going to need a much bigger play than that on a lengthy 3rd and goal.
Well, you get a little bit closer, but you can feel the pressure starting to mount. Unless you're committed to playing 4 downs here, this becomes a critical 3rd down call.
Hurts now on 3rd and goal. Escapes the pocket. And he drives this forward to the 6.
Well, this is in every quarterback's tool belt, even the ones not regarded as the best movers and shakers. But, Kate, to play QB in the league today, you've got to be able to do this. If you've got nobody open, still get some positive yards with your legs.
So on 4th down, on comes the Eagles kicker, Jake Elliott, for the try. A very short kick here from the right hash. The kick by Hopkins is good. And that pushes the lead up to 13.
Okay, one of the areas that kickers and quarterbacks are similar, they want to get into rhythm. And no better way to feel good than get into that rhythm and start a game 2 for 2 as a kicker.
Elliott's all set for the kickoff. Here's a return from the 7. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. The Kansas City offense set to take the field. They got the job done there last time out. Still trailing by a lot, though, so they're going to need a repeat of that touchdown here. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. From the gun, Piron. And he gets it forward to seal, but C.J. Gardner-Johnson there on the tackle. They only get a yard that time, and we have reached the 2-minute warning. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. From the gun, it's Mahomes. He gets this one to Smith-Schuster. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line.
You know what I love to say? You never go broke taking a profit, and you often gain profits when you use your eyes as a quarterback. Those hitch routes, those underneath throws, oftentimes it's the eyes of the quarterback looking downfield and then taking that short completion.
3rd and 2, Mahomes to throw. Makes the grab in bounds left side. And he's tackled after getting this to the opposing 46. That'll go for an 18-yard gain. And the Chiefs are going to have a first down.
I'll be honest with you, Kate. As you grow and develop as a quarterback, your arm gets stronger. These comebacks can be one of your favorite throws in your arsenal. Because if you trust yourself and you throw it before that defender breaks, you know there's yards to be had on the perimeter.
And they get this down roughly to the 34-yard line. They'll move the chains after that pickup of 12.
Good offenses. Okay, good play callers know how to utilize their personnel. They know where they wanted them. They wanted them on a route in space where he could make that initial play comfortably, but then go to work after it.
Shotgun handoff to Pirine. And they're able to grind him to a halt after a pickup of 4. Now we're going to get an offensive timeout. That's their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. Second and 6 coming up here. From the 29. Hopkins on the slant. And he's down inside the red zone before hitting the deck. Timeout taken by Kansas City. It's second. And they still have 1 in their pocket for what's left of this half. A new set of downs awaits them. Here's 1st and 10. From the red zone now. He'll get this one to Brown. And this play reaches the 12-yard line before the stop is made.
Well, he saw his guys pick up the blitz. Well, he felt them pick it up anyway if he wasn't looking at him. But with their effort on his behalf, I think this QB felt owed to them and the group up front to find somebody to get a completion, so that effort up front wasn't in vain.
Now, just before the break, a timeout taken by the offense, and they can try for some points going into the break. The Chiefs bring on Harrison Butker for the field goal. It's a 29-yard look right down the middle for him. Up and good from Blankenship. And that makes things a little closer. It's now a 10-point game.
In that close, in the red zone, you know they're upset. They couldn't finish the drive with the touchdown. It's only half the points, but at least there's something to show for the possession.
Well, Brock, barring the touchback, this kickoff should run out the half, so better make that return good as it's away. And he opts not to bring this one out, so they're going to enjoy some good starting field position from the 30. All right, this is going to be the play that takes us to halftime. All right, keeping it simple. They're just going to call a give right up the middle. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stopped. So we have reached halftime in Super Bowl 59 from New Orleans. Now we'll head over to Orlando, Florida. Check in with Jonathan Coachman for the EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. And what a season this has been, and it is nearing a conclusion. You guys enjoy the show out there. We'll get it back out to you, too, in just a moment. We just watched a fine first half out of the mobile quarterback. That's Jalen Hurts.
He had a touchdown both in the air and on the ground to help push his guys into the lead at the break.
Well, we all enjoyed that halftime show, right, Brock? These guys were strategizing how to win that Lombardi. We're back underway in the Super Bowl. And this return gets to the 30 before he stopped. So to begin the third quarter, the Eagles offense returning to the field. And unsurprisingly, Brock, a great day on the scoreboard so far for him. Has him with the advantage as we move through this third quarter. First and 10 now from the 30. Barkley on the shotgun handoff. And they try to power it forward, but only a couple of yards there.
Now, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get first downs against the better defenses in this league.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. From the 30, he's on the move. Trying to get away from the pressure, but he can't, and they drop it. And that pushes them back. Third down coming up.
This is a time where you get in that huddle and you just look at one another and say, hey, let's get back in rhythm. Get back in rhythm. Get something good to feel good about. Sure, you'd love to get the first down, but more than anything, just find a positive play after a huge sack.
Gotta figure out this third down here. Hurts. That won't be caught outright. It's incomplete. That one intended for Jahan Dotson. And now they're staring at 4th and long.
You know, that was a play, Kate, right there where you need to buy your receivers just enough time to get open along their routes. And your quarterback enough time to find and hit him with the throw. Time? Well, that's not what he had. O-line couldn't hold up, and it forces the incompletion.
Punter takes the field on 4th down, and he sends this one flying. And little to nothing on that return as the coverage team gets to him. That punt finishes as a 60-yard effort. And the Chiefs will get set to go on offense. It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. Run from Pacheco to start the half. And he breaks even, but that's it. Brought down at that line of scrimmage. Zach Vaughn with the tackle. No gain there that time, and it's 2nd and 10.
As that linebacker makes that tackle right in the middle of the field, all I'm thinking about right now, Kate's training camp. Because that's the middle drill right there. That is textbook. What you do in training camp, coming to life when it matters.
A 2nd down run by Pacheco. And this is pushed ahead for a gain of 5. It was Reed Blankenship making the stop. There's 5 on that play. They need 5 more now on 3rd down.
That run's not going to turn many heads, but at the end of the year, I promise you, if you average over 5 yards a run, you can be a Pro Bowler.
Here they come. This is 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, it's Mahomes. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up 4th down.
Wow, it has been such a good day offensively for the guys up front. That's actually the first sack by this defense. And now comes the real question mark. Will it lead to more? Or will this offense learn a lesson and get back to the rhythm they've been in protecting?
The Chiefs bringing out their punt team. And this will be his 2nd effort of the contest. Got 49 on his first punt. This one looks even longer. Fair catch made, a little beyond the 20-yard line. That punt goes unanswered, no return there. And the Eagles will take possession. Philadelphia getting ready to go on offense. They were only on the field for 3 plays their prior series, Brock. Let's see what changes they make to take over here. Offense ready to begin this drive, 1st and 10. They'll go from the gun with Barkley. Through the middle for a gain of 4.
Well, I'll steal a line from one of my buddies, but I'm going to quote him. Mark Schlereth, 2-time Super Bowl winner, says if you want to run the ball, you got to keep running the ball. And that's a perfect example of it. Don't get tired. Don't get mad at gaining 4 yards. It's a run that can set up even more in the run game.
From the 27. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Jahan Dotson, the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down.
Well covered on that play. Really not a large window for him to sneak that throw in.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. Receiver in motion, going left. On 3rd down, it's Hurts. That's caught for the 1st. Keeps on moving into the red zone. And he does quite a bit of damage before they finally take him down.
Just excellent effort on that catch. And a lightning quick transition from bringing that football in to getting vertical. He was not content for a second to end that play where he caught it. Any catch he makes, his intent is to put some serious yards on top of it.
All set up now for 1st and 10. Barkley trying this up the gut. And they love to see him fighting forward, but he only gets him 3. Second down now, 7 to go. Shotgun snap for Hurts. Quick slant complete. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain. Third and a lone yard coming up. Running is Barkley. And he gets in. Touchdown. The Eagles make it a 16-point ball game. Saquon Barkley, the touchdown. A lot of pressure on him in that moment, Brock. Find a way to score. Don't let it go to 4th and goal. And he finds a way to come through and gets in the end zone for 6.
Now, how about the other side? Beating the defense right there as well. That group who was so close to pulling off the goal line stand, yet all that motivation wasn't enough to stop him on 3rd and goal.
Elliott on now to attempt a point after. The point after splits the uprights. And the Eagles take a 3-possession lead. Elliott's all set for the kickoff. This return starts at the 5. This return makes it up to the 25. The Kansas City offense back out there and set to go. They're running out of time to get this game into a more manageable spot, Brock. We've got a 3-score deficit, and we're in quarter number 3. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. He gives it Pacheco to start the drive. And he has enough room to gain about 4.
He'll expect more from himself on those type of plays, but there is nobody that's going to complain about that one. If you can do math, 4 plus 4 plus 4 equals a first down.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Putting the tight end in motion. From the 30 on 2nd down. Throw reeled in by Hopkins. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
Move the chains! Gotta move them chains! Build momentum and keep that defense on its heels.
First down, ball at the 36. Operating from the gun, here's Mahomes. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Looking for his wide receiver there. So it'll be 2nd down.
There's the importance of staying in phase as a defender. He was all over him in coverage, and that really did help force the incompletion.
Couldn't connect on first, it's 2nd down. They'll put one of the tight ends in motion. On 2nd and 10 now, Mahomes. This one is tipped away and incomplete. Good positioning to make a play on it. That forces 3rd down.
I think it's fair to say, in the eye in the sky deadline, without that ball being tipped, we are looking at a big game. A missed opportunity to push their offense and a great play on the other side to deny the throw.
No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down. Again, Mahomes to throw. On target to Worthy. And he's going to be brought down after reaching the 43. That chunk worth a nice 21 yards. And it'll be 1st down, Kansas City.
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap 1st down.
Throwing again, Mahomes. Finds his man, it's Worthy. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. It's a pickup of 26. And the Chiefs are going to have a 1st down.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
All right, all set up now. 1st and 10. Working inside the red zone. Oh, this big guy is moving. Touchdown, Kansas City. All right, so the offense does its job, Brock. Now they need their defense to give them a chance to overcome that big deficit.
The momentum in the building's clearly changed. We can feel it here in the booth, but you're right. It's now up to the defense to make a stop and give them a chance.
Butker to try the point after. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Chiefs cut the lead down to 10. That lead trimmed just a bit, down to 10 points now as the kick is up and away. Returning it from the 4. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Eagles and Saquon Barkley ready to take over once again. And I think we can agree the plan to keep him out of the end zone, it hasn't quite worked so well for this defense, at least not yet. He scored twice, really been the one his group can turn to for a spark or a big play when they've needed it. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Starting on the ground here with Barkley. And he found some running room for a nice gain. Good rip on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 2.
Well, that doesn't net a 1st down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. From the 34. Escapes the pocket. He's going to keep it this time. And he's going to get this up to the 45 before he's brought down. And that one goes for a gain of 11. And that's a Philadelphia 1st down.
I can promise you, that was the goal from the moment he took off. He kept his eyes locked. It's almost like he had a spidey sense. He knew exactly where to get in order to move the sticks and get that critical 1st down.
From the pistol, Hurts. Has a man, it's Brown. And he'll get it down to the 24-yard line. It's a 31-yard play. And that's good for an Eagles 1st down.
One thing we don't have in football is we don't have that radar gun. But if we did, Kate, this is the kind of throw, when you throw it that deep outside the numbers, that requires a serious fastball, serious arm strength, and he just showed it off.
Now they'll hit the line just outside the red zone following that big play. They kick the running back in motion. 1st down throwing for Hurts. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
You know what I call that, Kate? Punch. And you took a punch, but then you countered right back. You give up a big play, massive play, but you don't hang your head. You come right back, you get a sack of your own, and you change the momentum as quickly as you can.
Everyone's prepped. It's 2nd down now. Another try following the sack. Throwing the out route complete. And he's going to go out of bounds just short of that red zone.
Kate, if there was one throw in the game plan that kept me up at night more than any other, it was an out route versus zone coverage. Because you got to throw with anticipation, but you also got to make sure those defenders' eyes aren't reading you like a book.
3rd and long for him here. The throw right side, caught by Goddard. And he's going to be stopped at the 17-yard line.
Feet and eyes, Kate. Feet and eyes. They so often tell the story of every position on the field. When that quarterback's feet and eyes move to his secondary read, and so often it's a tight end, well, it's incumbent on that defense to fly to the ball. You want to make that tackle, force the 4th down? It took a great defensive effort to do it.
The kick by Hopkins is good. And that pushes the lead up to 13.
So many of these players on the field, Kate, they just strive for consistency, but not the kickers. They strive for perfection, and so far, he's just that.
Elliott's all set for the kickoff. Fielded at the 7. Finds some space. He's past the 30. And this will give them decent field position. The return gets out to the 30. Their offense ready to take the field now. And that last drive, no answer for what they were doing through the air. So expect some tighter coverage this time around. First and 10 now from the 30. Running out of the gun with Pacheco. And he's going to manage a lone yard on that drive up the gut. Zach Bond with the tackle. Manages just a yard on first down. Now it's going to be 2nd and 9.
Okay, this is why you got to be careful to just run it always on first down. You got to break your tendencies. The casual fan, well, that casual fan knew what was coming, but more importantly, this defensive front did too.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. Has him on the quick hitter. We'll have him gain up about a handful there. C.J. Gardner-Johnson there on the tackle. Chance to move the chains here on 3rd and 4. Here's Mahomes. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down.
No one picks him up, and he reminded everyone in the building why that's a major mistake. The linebacker's athleticism on full display. A sack in under 2 seconds? That's a select group of players on the planet who could pull that off.
Kansas City sends out its punt team. Matt Ariza, the one to send it away. Averaging a little under 50 a kick so far, Brock, as he gets away another one. He calls for the fair catch and has it at the 22-yard line. The Eagles returning their offense and this running back to the field. And their last drive did end in points. Not as many as they wanted, though. They had to settle for that field goal despite advancing the football pretty well. They're out and set. 1st and 10. Running right, it's Barkley. And they'll manage to contain him after about a 6-yard pickup. Jaden Hicks there on the tackle. A nice 6-yard pickup. They're going to have 2nd and 4.
That does not show up on any explosive stat sheet, but let me tell you, Kate, that's the real deal right there. You run for that kind of yardage consistently in the NFL, you do set yourself up for success.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he'll have a small 4-yard chunk there. Brought to a halt by Brian Cook.
An offensive group really hoped he was going to get it all right there, reset it back to 1st down. But instead, defense, well, they're not going to let anything come easy. And their fight is giving them a chance to stall things out on 3rd and short.
Battle coming up on 3rd and inches. Trying to get it with the option. And he'll get taken down after advancing this to the 37. Pick up a 5 on that play. And that's a Philadelphia 1st down.
Not the biggest game, but exactly what they needed. Just get the 1st down and keep this drive rolling.
Markers reset, ball at the 37. First down, a run with Barkley. And he'll be met near the line to limit the gain to a yard. That's George Karlaftis who got there for the stop. Just a gain of 1, and that brings up... We had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose, incomplete. For a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose, incomplete. Devontae Smith, the intended target. And they're going to be stuck with a 4th and long.
Defender's not going to be thrilled the catch was almost made on his watch, but more importantly, he breaks it up. Gives him a chance to do a little jawing after the play. Lets the other guy know he roughed him up and cost him that catch.
4th down, and on comes the punt team, and the kick's away. Fair catch called for and made just outside the 20. No return on that punt, and they'll get ready to go on offense. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Looking to throw Mahomes. It's complete to Hopkins. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
I love throwing on 1st down. And when you see a 1st down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you plan for and you go out and execute.
From the 39 now after that explosive start to this drive. A first down carry for Pacheco. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
All right, here we go. Second down. Motioning one of the tight ends. Here's 2nd and 11. And they'll bundle this up after a 4-yard gain. C.J. Gardner-Johnson there on the tackle.
This defense didn't give up contain there, Kate. That was an instance where the more exciting plays were taken away downfield. And even looking to the tight end wasn't going to net them much.
Let's see what they draw up on this 3rd and 7. Out of the gun, it's Mahomes. This one finds Kelsey. And they'll make the stop up at the 46-yard line. So we're winding down to the end of the 2024 season. That's the end of 3 in Super Bowl 59. The Chiefs have it and hopefully have some points too, ready to salvage their title hopes. Offense looking confident, but they need 4 here on 4th down. Mahomes to throw for it. He finds him beyond the marker. And he pushes this down to the 42 before going down. What a call. They wind up with 12 on 4th down and pull off the conversion.
I love those moments of truth. We get to see exactly how they handle it when all the pressure that drives right on them. Turns out, handled it pretty darn well, and now they'll keep pushing on.
Pacheco gets it from the gun. It is charged towards the line. It's right around 3 yards.
That's the kind of run play that feels like tug-of-war at field day. And you're just not moving the other side. Just a short run. Neither side feels particularly good about it, and we'll move to the next.
2nd down now, 7 to go. From the 38. He's got it to him yet again, and that one is caught.
This is one of those kind of win-win situations. Both sides feel good. There's an offense, I get a completion. I get a win. There's a defense, I keep everything in front of me. I make the tackle for a short gain. I get a win, too. Sometimes you can get to win-win.
Short yardage situation here. It's 3rd and 2. They'll run it. Here's Pacheco. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
I don't know what it is, Kate, but I love 3rd down runs. I really do. I know the receivers don't always like it because it's money down and they want the ball, but a 3rd down run for a 1st down can be so demoralizing to that defense.
And they've got themselves another 1st and 10. Throwing is Mahomes. He goes back to him yet again, complete. And he's short of the 1st after a mild gain. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. They'll give this up the middle to Pacheco. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
I don't know about you, Kate, but he sure made getting that 1st down look really easy. A lot easier than it's supposed to be for that defense. I think they'll hear about it when they get to the sidelines.
They have themselves another 1st and 10. From the red zone now. And he's going to score. Touchdown, Kansas City. The Chiefs now within 1 score in the 4th. Travis Kelsey, the touchdown. His 2nd scoring catch of the game. When you reach the status that he has around the league, Brock, well, we all at this point expect him to be making plays like this when he's targeted down near the end zone.
Yeah, I think the best thing I can say about this dude is he makes it look easy a lot of the time. And this game, trust me, is never easy. It speaks to how well he plays this position.
Extra point by Butker is up and good. And the Chiefs get it back to within 6. So here's the kickoff, Brock. Just 6 points now separating our teams. Here's a return from the 7. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The home teams and A.J. Brown getting set for another look on offense here. And after that touchdown, cut their lead back to 1 score, Brock. A response in order as they take over. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Option play. They give it to Barkley. And the power play up the gut only results in 2 yards.
Well, Kate, a 2-yard run on 1st down, I think that keeps you ahead of schedule. You're going to have to pick up the pace.
Eight yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. They go to Barkley again. And he'll get taken down after advancing this to the 37. Give him 9 on that play, and it's enough for the 1st.
I think with that call, they were trying to set him up with a short 3rd down run, but he said, nope, not on my watch. I'll just go get it all right here. Now, playbook's wide open for 1st and 10.
First and 10. Here's Hurts. He'll get this one to Brown. And this one does not go far.
Well, that's a modest little drag route, but if you ever just need a safe short gain on the throw, that's a go-to route to target.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. From the 39. Splits a couple of defenders and completes it. And they get this down to the 44 before he stopped. He finds him 16 yards and a new set of downs.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. Shotgun snap for Hurts. He completes it in traffic. And he's able to get this down to the 36.
Well, the odds aren't great when you throw into double coverage. Normally you see one of the defenders make a play on the ball. 2 men nearby, and that's a missed opportunity for the coverage to make an impact play.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Hurts throwing again. He finds Brown right side. And he's stopped at the 31-yard line. That one ends up a gain of 6. And that's good for an Eagles 1st down.
And those are the completions they rely on from their passing game.
They've got 1st down from the 31. Quick touch pass to the receiver. And tough sledding for him. Only room to get it to the 30. Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, that's a tough one because you could see the beginnings of what looked like an explosive play. Let's give some credit here, Kate, to the defense. A great job to bottle him up before it came to fruition.
Here we go, 2nd and 9. He's on the move. And they get to him as he was trying to make something happen. And that pushes him back, 3rd down coming up.
Final quarter, this quarterback's just feeling the need to do a little extra, try to make something happen outside the pocket. The problem, defense wouldn't let them. They have that same kind of urgency. They want to make some plays of their own before they hit the showers, and they got one right there with that sack.
That's caught for the first. He does it. Touchdown, Philadelphia. The Eagles make it a 2-possession game here in the 4th. A.J. Brown, the touchdown. Well, in a close game, they needed somebody to make that type of play. Now it pushes their lead to a couple of scores and makes a comeback that much more difficult.
You know, Kate, their offense did its part and padded the lead. Now it's up to this defense to make this 2-score lead hold up and carry it across the finish line.
Eagles offense staying out there. They're going for 2. He's throwing for it. Eagles out of bounds. Wow, major miscue there. They're not going to get 2.
You go with what you think is your best option. There they felt like it was going to be a pass, but sometimes it simply doesn't work.
Elliott's all set for the kickoff. Has this at the 6. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. The Chiefs are out once again. Their offense led by Patrick Mahomes. And as we're reminded of some of the highlights of this game, his touchdowns ranking quite high among them. We're going to see 3 of them here, and if you're scoring like that, Brock, it normally means you've had a pretty darn good game. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. They send a tight end in motion. 1st down throw, Mahomes. Escapes the pocket. He's going to pull this one down and run with it. A big play, 23 yards to move those chains.
Obviously, a defense wants to take away all the reads and prevent any kind of big throw for the 1st down. Fine. Well, this QB, he'll just lower his head and gash the defense with one of the biggest runs of the game.
One play in, and this drive is already into enemy territory. That's complete. Here's Brown. And he goes out a little short of the 40.
I know I could sound like a broken record when I talk about timing and getting the ball out on time and on rhythm, but these outcuts, it is so imperative, and the best of them make it look oh so easy.
2nd and 3 now. From the gun, Piron. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away. Third down, 1 yard to go. Operating from the gun, here's Mahomes. Complete beyond the marker. And he's stopped at the 31-yard line. Give him 8 yards on the play. And it'll be 1st down, Kansas City. Pressure coming from Mahomes. Kelsey makes the catch. And he's tackled after gaining a handful.
Just stay on schedule. Just stay on schedule, right? SOS. Bad thing on a ship. Good thing on a football field. Even a little completion keeps this offense on schedule.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Running up the middle, Pacheco. And they'll stop him after a short pickup to the 24. It's a pickup of 3. They're going to need 3 more now on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Mahomes. He's got it at the 5. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with 1st and goal.
I'm not sure how this defense let that guy slip through him like that. On 3rd down, nonetheless, he took that snap as an opportunity, and man, did he make an impact play.
4 downs now to get in. Here's 1st and goal. Working inside the red zone. And he's in for the Kansas City touchdown. The Chiefs now within 1 score in the 4th. Travis Kelce the touchdown. His 3rd through the air this game. 3 touchdown catches in 1 game is rare air, Brock. Safe to say most guys who retire can name every time they did that here in the NFL.
Yeah, I hope he remembers it, but also remember this. Receivers, they're a dependent position. They're dependent on the guys doing their job up front. They're dependent on the quarterback putting it on the spot. And usually, when you reach a milestone like this, you love to share it with everybody else. And my guess, especially if they could find a way to win this one, is this receiver will celebrate it with all of his guys.
Butker with the extra point. And the Chiefs trim the deficit down to 5. So after making this a 5-point ball game, they kick it off. Fielded at the 7. Returns looking good so far. They'll have decent field position to begin with here. Brock, he's tackled just beyond that 30-yard line. The home teams back out on offense. They're running back headed out once again. They really have the passing game clicking on that last touchdown drive, partner. We'll see if they stick with that or if they mix things up a bit on this series. They've got 1st down from the 31. Operating from the gun, here's Hurts. Flushed out of the pocket. He keeps it and takes off. And he'll get it up to the 44. Give him 13 on that play. And that's a Philadelphia 1st down.
Well, there was no sense of taking a risk down the field when a 1st down was just a runaway. They'll get to reset now and figure out just how they want to attack a new set of downs.
1st down throwing for Hurts. He's fine Smith. And he's going to go down right along the midfield stripe.
Not met many receivers in my life that don't love the spotlight, but you got to earn your place there. Easy way to do it, catches just like that, going up into double coverage and making the play anyway.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Straight ahead, here's Barkley. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
Some backs are easier to tackle than others. Some, well, they just choose violence. They look for those opportunities to bust through tackles and keep those legs pumping.
From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. Here's another carry for Barkley. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down. First down play, nets him 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5.
A humble 5 to 6 yard gain on the ground. Not a huge gain, not a game-changing play by any means, but one that keeps you on schedule and takes some of the starch out of that front 7.
Hurts now from the gun. Buys, trying to get away from the pressure, but he can't, and they drop it. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
How many times we see these coaches after games sit there at the press conference, they pull out the stat sheet, and when they do, they look for some anomalies. And today, well, this head coach is going to be very proud of a defensive effort, getting after the quarterback 6 different times. 6 sacks, and they've had a heyday in the backfield.
Defense looking to defend the marker on 3rd down. And they'll let the clock run all the way down and expire.
Delay of game, offense.
Everyone was set and at the line. The quarterback just didn't snap it before the play clock hit 0.
Still 3rd down.
Penalty not helping their cause for this 3rd down. Running back sent in motion. He's back to throw. Able to get it to Barkley. And this is marked down right along that 40-yard line.
Year after year, the best offenses are multifaceted. It's not just the receivers or the tight ends that can make plays through the air. When you get running backs that can attack the middle of the field like that, man, is it difficult on the defense.
So that brings us to the 2-minute warning in New Orleans. Eagles with a 5-point lead. A lot of pressure on this kick for Jake Elliott. It's a deep shot for him from that left hash. That kick is no good. Oh, he mishit it. And their lead will remain unchanged in the 4th.
Obviously, Kate, that miss would have made it a touchdown game. But think of it this way, it's still a touchdown game. But instead of it forcing overtime, now it's going to give them a loss.
Now this offense getting set to work here. They'll try to emphasize what worked on their last drive, which ended Brock in a touchdown. All right, the Chiefs in good field position here as they start out 1st and 10. Setting up to pass. On target to Worthy. And they make the tackle at the 38. Now we're going to get an offensive timeout. That's their first. And they can take a moment to try to build more momentum after getting the first. New set of downs for him at the 38. Back to throw. Finds his man. It's Worthy. And he gets down to the 24 before he stopped. Big gain, 14 on the play. And the Chiefs are going to have a first down.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only 1? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
That could be it, folks. It's intercepted. Darius Slay has it. And this one may be out of reach now because the defense comes through with 6. Went to the old well one too many times, Brock, and this time the defense was ready for it.
Now, you make as many catches as he has in this game, you're going to attract some extra attention. They knew it was probably going his way in the near future. They had somebody there waiting for it that time.
Elliott on now to attempt the point after. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Eagles push the lead up to 12. Well, Brock, hopefully some short memories on offense as they get it right back here on the kickoff after that pick six. Return coming from the 6. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. The offense getting set to go. And they didn't have much time to recover from that pick six. Need short memories here as they head back out. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Mahomes trying to get after the pick. Nothing there left side as it ends up incomplete. Travis Kelce, the intended target. And we'll see what they do here on 2nd down.
You know, in the NFL, offensive-minded teams would call it a perfect Friday. They don't want the ball to hit the ground once. And especially on these short to intermediate throws, you got to count on those being efficient and effective.
Out of the gun, it's Mahomes. And he won't get it there. Defender finds a throw and breaks it up.
I know a DB in the stat sheet loves to see INT and not PBU, but as soon as he realized a pick wasn't possible, he does the next best thing and knocks it away.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. Throwing now. Try and push it deep downfield. And he hits the end zone. Touchdown! I hope nobody left early, Brock, because we have still got a game. I love plays like this, Brock. Sometimes you just gotta ask your dude, show me what you got, man. Show off those wheels, and he did just that.
Yeah, beauty in simplicity, right?
Yep.
Now, when you run that fly route, you gotta win right from the jump. And you gotta protect yourself from the sideline, too. Don't get pushed to the boundary. Give your quarterback room to throw it up, and you can find pay dirt.
Butker to try the point after. The point after splits the uprights. And the Chiefs trim the deficit down to 5. So everything comes down to this onside kick with less than a minute to go. And the Eagles are able to recover. And that should just about do it for us here. And he has it to the 42 before they make the stop. The Eagles about set to go on offense. Their lead's still more than a field goal, thankfully, should the worst happen, Brock. But obviously the goal here is to hang on to the ball and try to run this game out.
Yeah, the goal is to get to the best formation in the history of offensive football. The victory formation.
The victory formation.
That is all that you're thinking right now, is just make these plays, run out this clock so we could take one more knee and celebrate.
A tight end in motion now. Barkley trying this up the gut. And he'll bowl his way ahead for a 4-yard pickup. Timeout taken by Kansas City. It's second. And they'll have just one left to burn now. Second and 6 coming up here. From the gun, it gives to Gainwell. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss. The Chiefs will use their third and final timeout. That's all they had, so the offense free to start running the clock down now. Setting up for the kneel down on third. They drop to a knee, and what little time we have left here is going to tick down.
This is situational football at its best. There's still some time left to bleed out the clock. But the really important thing here is you've got to bleed every second of that clock that you can.
The Eagles are in punt formation. Braden Mann will kick it away. And he finally gets a hold of one here. This is hit far. You are not going to see a better punt than that. He picked the perfect angle, and it flies out of bounds at the 1. No chance at a return. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Here he is to throw. And the pressure gets home. He doesn't throw it in time. That's a safety. And the birthplace of America sure is going to be rocking again tonight. The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions. Well, Brock, you and I talk about this often. Multiple times throughout the regular season. List of greats who've never made it to this moment. It's enormous. Some of the best to ever do it across 100+ years of football. And those greats could not do what these players have just done.
No, because it was a group, and such a special group, brought together from so many different paths, but it bonded and formed one of these teams so strong together that Super Bowl became a legitimate possibility for them. This moment never gets old. Fate and circumstance linked together when this season began. And now, with this win, it will link all these guys together forever as champions.
The football world has descended upon New Orleans, and Super Bowl 59 is underway. Has this at the 6, and he's brought down just inside the 25 on the return. So here come the Eagles for their opening drive. They're led out by an incredible score through the air and on the ground. He was picked 53rd back in 2020. It's Jalen Hurts.
Kate, it's not often that we talk about quarterbacks having a nose for the end zone in football. It's usually reserved for the running backs, but Jalen Hurts has changed that conversation. He has so much power, so much strength. You get him into the short yardage situations or around the goal line, he finds a way to get in, but it's not just there. He's got a deep ball that's the envy of many. He's elevated his teammates around him, and he's got a skill set that I know a lot of quarterbacks would sure love to have.
And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
I can tell you what, that was the goal from the moment he took off. Kept his eyes locked on the chains and made sure he set them up with a new set of downs. Well done.
Only took him one play, partner, and they've already made it to that 40-yard line. On first down, Hurts has him on the quick hitter. And he made a bid for midfield there, but stopped on his own side at the 49.
The goal of running that drag route is to get it to him for at least a minimal gain with space to add after that. They picked up a good chunk, and there was nearly room to add even more.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Shotgun snap for Hurts. That's caught. It's Saquon Barkley. And he has it to the 42 before they make the stop. A 9-yard gain and good for a first down.
You know, these running backs today, they are so versatile. It doesn't matter if they're running it, or in this case, same principle applies on routes out of the backfield. You don't get somebody close to him, that throw is headed his way.
1st and 10. Here's Hurts. Completes this one to Jahan Dotson. It's a Philadelphia touchdown! The Eagles take a 6-0 lead right away. He finds one of his great receivers, Brock, and they are off to a great start to begin this ball game.
Yeah, it's such a positive offensively when you could go find not just a field goal, but a touchdown on that opening drive. And defensively, this starts to shake the foundation of your preparation. Makes you wonder what's in store.
Now Jake Elliott on to attempt the extra point. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Eagles will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Elliott's all set for the kickoff. Here's a return from the 7. Now bottle him up as he gets the return to the 30. So here are the Chiefs out on offense for their first drive. Leading them out, someone who, Brock, I think needs less introduction than anyone in the NFL today. It's Patrick Mahomes.
All of us as sports fans, we know those players in the other sports that when we just think of the greatest to ever do it, a skill set that's different than everybody else, immediately a player pops in your mind. And while we have seen GOATs like Tom Brady and Super Bowl winners many times over like Bradshaw, Montana, and Aikman, there's just not many that have ever done it with the flair, the style, and the skill set of Patrick Mahomes.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. He's got his man, that's Travis Kelce. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. He'll move the sticks after ripping off a gain of 28.
You know what I like about that, Kate? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and dunking the ball.
One play in, and this drive is already into enemy territory. Shotgun handoff to Piron. And with a nice gain, he runs him down inside of field goal range. Good run, gets him 7. That brings up 2nd and 3.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid game, but it's also a run that you know and you may come back to, because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of a defense.
They run once more with Piron. And this is down to the 28 before the defense halts it. Call it 7 yards on the play, and that's enough for the first down.
Okay, this is why coaches across all levels of football harp on the importance of good, fundamental tackling, not just to hear themselves talk. It's to make sure that when one of their guys has a chance to bring down a running back, they're able to do it and keep those plays from going any further.
1st and 10, it's Mahomes. Pass is caught at the 9. And they bring him down at the 7-yard line. And even 20 yards on the play, and it awards them with a 1st and goal.
This entire play, Kate, depends on how well he can separate from his man. You get man-to-man coverage, it's really about...
And that is caught. It's a Kansas City touchdown. The Chiefs finish off their opening drive. Travis Kelce, the touchdown. Brock, as they start this game off, a perfect 1-for-1 offensively.
Yeah, I'm going to call that scripting for success right there. Can't do it much better than that. And listen, when you script these first plays, you don't always know who the targets are going to be. It's really then relying upon what the defense is trying to take away. They couldn't take away that big old tight end.
Now Harrison Butker for the point after. Extra point set right down the middle. And the Chiefs start off well to tie things 7-7. Reed now to kick this one away. Return coming from the 6. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Throwing here, Hurts. Short pass brought in. And this one gets to the 33-yard line before it's stopped. Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Hurts to throw. He's got Devontae Smith. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down.
The analytics will tell you a handful of these kind of plays per game, and your odds per drive of scoring go way up.
First and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. A play fake, now Hurts to throw. That's caught by A.J. Brown. And he's marked down, looks like at the 32-yard line. It's a gain of 19 on the play. And that's good for an Eagles 1st down.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. A lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
It's Dotson on the catch. And they stop him. He's marked down along that 18-yard line. They gain 14 on the play. And that's a Philadelphia first down.
It takes a certain level of fearlessness, craziness to work over the middle of the field in this league. You're fighting through guys as you go, and all the while you know you could take a lick at any time.
From the red zone now. That one's incomplete in the end zone.
Can't cover it much better than that. Really well covered, Kate, on that play. There just simply was not a window for him to sneak that throw in.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's second down. From the pistol, Hurts. Throwing the out route complete. And he's got it inside the 15 before going out.
As a quarterback, when you're in coverage, you're just hoping and just praying your offense him for at least a minimal gain with space to add after that. That picked up a good chunk. Him for at least a minimal gain with space to add after that. That picked up a good chunk, and it was nearly a big play.
Now it's second and goal from the 1. Barkley goes up and over for the touchdown. The Eagles break the tie here in the first. Saquon Barkley, the touchdown. So, Brock, this offense starting to find its rhythm a bit as they finish things with a touchdown there to give them the lead.
And the key word there that you said is finish, because you want to have that mindset, even early in the game, that field goals aren't going to cut it. So that's great work to make sure they finish with 6 points.
That one splits the uprights. And the Eagles take the lead here, 14-7 in the first. Elliott's all set for the kickoff. Starting from the 5. And pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. Now for the second time, we get a look at this Kansas City offense. And Brock, they are not in the spot they want to be, but still plenty of game left. You don't want to let the set.
Yeah, you just can't overtry. And every bit of you wants to, every fiber of your being in this building right now, you want to perform, but you just can't overdo it. Get back in the rhythm and play your game.
Mahomes on 1st and 10. That's caught by Hollywood Brown. And he's going to go out of bounds. Looks a little short of the 35.
Kate, if you and I took a whirlwind tour and watched young quarterbacks, the hardest route to complete is this one. A lot of them could throw go routes and slants and drags and in cuts, but throwing that out route takes some time, takes some precision, and a whole bunch of trust between QB and receiver.
Completes this one to Gray. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stopped. A 5-yard gain on the play. And it'll be first down, Kansas City.
Look up contested catch in the football dictionary, and you'll see that. I mean, I can't critique the defense there. They're in the hip pocket of that tight end. But these contested catches, these tight ends that can separate with their hands, utilize their body, even when you're covered, you're not.
Hopkins on the slant. And that's good for a gain of... He'll get this one to Brown. And they're going to haul him down just shy of the 40.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Offense.
A game they were pretty happy with goes away via the penalty. And now we're going to wait to see how they respond.
Still second down.
Offense to the line for second down. Back to the air, Mahomes. It's complete to Hopkins. Gets it ahead, has about 5 yards. Brought down on the effort by Quinion Mitchell.
I feel so bad, I really do. And I don't mean this sarcastically, Kate. I feel bad for these guys in coverage. I don't know how you defend some of these players today, because they get that drag route, they get one step inside of you, well, there's very little you can do other than make the tackle.
3rd and short, here's Mahomes. That's the rookie from Texas hauling it in. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. It's a 26-yard pickup there. And the Chiefs are going to have a 1st down.
If they get a handful of these types of plays per game, the pass game coordinator is going to be one happy camper.
He brings the offense up now for a 1st and 10. Again, Mahomes to throw. That pass is caught by Smith-Schuster. And he stopped just before he reaches the red zone at the 21.
It's not just imperative that a quarterback knows man or zone. Same thing for a receiver, especially on a drag route. When he sees zone coverage like that, just settle down, find the soft spot, and give your quarterback a chance.
Throwing again, Mahomes. Brought in by Juju. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
There's no question the greatest concern there was just getting the 1st down. You want a high percentage throw, and you're not really concerned about big yards. Well, the drag route was perfect. He comes open in the short field. It's easy to zip that throw right in there and reset those chains.
Now it's the 1st carry for Isaiah Pacheco. And he'll go down shy of the end zone. They mark him at the 4. 14 yards on a nice play there, and it gives them 1st and goal.
These running backs love getting into the open field, and the best of them, they're not even looking at the man right in front of them. They're looking at that next level to get a chunk run like that.
They'll break the huddle and come up on 1st and goal. Out of the gun, it's Mahomes. And that's a Kansas City touchdown. He hung in there as long as he could. A lot of quarterbacks would have bailed out, and it was what you talk about, Brock, that courage that kept the chant for the touchdown alive.
Yeah, that touchdown's going to show up on his stat sheet making the catch, or the quarterback stat sheet for making the throw, but hey, can we put some touchdowns up there for the big boys up front? It was their blocking and buying of time for that play that led to the score.
Butker to try the point after. The point after splits the uprights. And the Chiefs tie things up at 14. Reed now to kick this one away. He fields it from the 8. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. The Eagles ready to set up shop on offense. And with each team coming off a touchdown and scoring well early on, we've got the makings of a barn burner here, Brock, if they can keep this up.
Yeah, and as a quarterback, as an offense, it doesn't mean you over-try, but you just know, hey, man, our defense having a hard time slowing them down, and we've got to step on that accelerator.
Starting on the ground here with Barkley. Juke the defender. They managed 22 on the rip and a 1st down.
I'll tell you what, Kay, one of the things I'm most proud of coming out of broadcast are my O-line buddies that will hit me up during the game and say thank you. Thank you for finally showing some love and giving some light to what those big boys are doing up front. I got to play with some of the best to do it. I got to see it up close and personal. Because of it, I'll never forget it. And they just showed up on that run.
Hits him on the out route. And he has it to the 42 before they make the stop.
Kid, I promise you, if you and I got to travel the country and watch young quarterbacks, even really good high school quarterbacks, out routes are the hardest to complete. Slants, goes, fades, all that stuff comes somewhat naturally, but really trusting yourself to throw that out route, that comes with time and experience.
They'll put one of the tight ends in motion. On the play fake, it's Hurts. He's throwing deep to the left side. He's got it inside the 10. He does it. Touchdown, Philadelphia. The Eagles break the tie here in the first. Dallas Goedert the touchdown. It seems like a lot of the time, Brock, even if the results aren't quite as flashy every rep, tight ends are even more reliable scorers than a lot of receivers are when it comes to the passing game.
Yeah, I would agree with that, but there's also a lot more real estate for them to work with, right? Think of the receivers. They got to deal with the sidelines, that 12th defender. Many of these tight ends